A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is me, your teacher and mentor, Muhammad Hasnain, once again with all of you people. And today in our second class, technically this is our first class, but before that, you guys knew that I had a small announcement in which I explained and I introduced English to you people. So today we are going to talk about the major three things of English. The three things that English is mainly about is, number one is about skills. Yes, now you might ask, what do I mean by skills? So skills are those 4 skills that you need if you want to become a good listener or a good reader. So number one is reading, writing, listening, and speaking. These are the 4 different branches, or I'm going to call it like these are the 4 different pages or layers of English skills. These are the major skills that you need. This is layer 1. That is the most obvious and the most needed is reading. I'm going to write the short form of it. Reading. Then secondly, the most important is writing. Then it's speaking. Then it's listening. But one thing that you guys have to encounter that is that you guys obviously underestimate the power of listening. And listening is something that you guys don't like. But listening is the most important. If you want to get knowledgeable, you have to listen. And if you don't listen, you are not knowledgeable. And if you don't listen, you don't have the answer. And you cannot read. Reading is also a synonym or a version of listening, because listening is verbally and reading is actually when you read it by something, but you have to learn it by someone or something. But if you don't listen to someone, you cannot write something, you cannot speak something by your own mind, because we aren't philosophers that everything we would say would be very big accomplishments, and we cannot call ourselves very big people so that anything we could say would be like truth and people would say, wow, that is a very great thing. People will criticize us if we don't have that. Now, the most obvious is grammar, the most important part, which includes the biggest of area. It literally takes 3 months to learn grammar, and it's not all the grammar that it takes. It encounters, there are 3 stages of it which I would discuss. Number 1 would be parts of speech, and as we go on, I would not say it from now, but as we go on, I'm gonna tell you more about it. Okay? So yes, grammar, you guys know it. I'm gonna display that into 3 different sections. So those 3 different sections would be, number 1 would be parts of speech, as I told you, and the other 2 I'm not gonna tell you now. We are gonna do that when we finish our first one. So the third most important thing is practice. Yes, practice is very important. If you don't have practice, you cannot learn anything, because practice, if you don't practice English, even on writing, even on reading, even on anything, if you don't practice this, so I don't believe that you can remember English. If you are good at reading, you'll forget it if you don't read for a month or 2. You cannot read with the same rhythm or with the same style you read when you read continuously. Writing, if you don't write for a year, you'll literally have a very bad font, or you'll have a very bad kind of way of writing. Your handwriting would get ruined and it would get spoiled if you don't practice it. And listening, if you don't listen to anyone, you will be a bad listener, and you could not write anything, you cannot speak anything. Why? Because if you don't listen, you'll not have knowledge. If you don't read, you'll not have knowledge. And from having no knowledge, we are not philosophers. We are not the intelligent scientists. So we cannot create our own self, like ideas from our mind. People will criticize us because we are common people. And people have their own theories, they can follow it, but nobody will follow them. So we have to learn from others instead of creating our own ideas. We should do all of them. So writing and speaking, if you don't speak, so you'll forget. Now that might feel silly, but this has been with so many of my colleagues at my academy, that when they are not there on their jobs, or when they are not coming to the university, after a few months when they come back, so they lose the kind of fluency which they have, the kind of straightness or the kind of perfectness which they had. So these are the three major things that we need in our introduction to English. So after my shout, or after me telling you people that I'm gonna have this course, this is my second class, and this is the original introduction to English class. And after this we are going to be starting first upon skills, and then we are going to be going straight forward, and practice would be done with it. So for now on, thank you so much, and Allah Hafiz.